Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17
and Greyshot151 here.
and today we're here to mess up the tier list for another Company of Heroes 2 group, Infantry for the Axis.
Yes, so for this one we're going over the Wehrmacht and the OKW basic infantry units, and note that we're going over what is core to the start of every game. So yes, there'll be commanders that can buff these units in some ways.
Yes.
But for the most part, we're going to keep that supplemental. Make note of it on the side. For the most part, we're just ranking them in general. Where would they go? No matter what commander you choose, this is primarily where they're going to go and how effective they are against other units.
We know there's like doctrines with like 4+ upgrades for
All
Grenadiers.
STGs and flamethrower units get to the engineer. There's so on and so forth. But like,
I mean, you can get that base with the Pioneers. I mean, come on, that's nothing special. What kind of person would not add flamethrowers to the Pioneers? Unless you love mines.
Yeah. But no, let us start off then with, we should probably go with the engineers first. So.
Great. So let's go with the Pioneer squad. Okay. Where do we put the Pioneers?
I'd give them a solid B. Like.
Okay.
They're good. And I should note, I am not a Wehrmacht player to the, I'm very much more OKW, so that's why we'll go with
this is Axis, so Wehrmacht and OKW.
Yeah.
And again, ranking infantry, so all the infantry units.
Yes, but in regards to, like, fighting, whenever a Pioneer squad turns the corner, and I have an infantry squad, be it conscripts, be it another, like, Soviet engineer, be it an American unit, whatever it may be, I don't feel fear. Like, I'm like, I can kill this.
Well, they give that perception, but once again, they're very good close range, and they've been buffed a little bit over the past couple patches. So now they're actually really good close range. Not great, but they can hold their own.
They still feel soft, like
squishy.
They feel like if I am able to I feel like I can win a fight against them. If I have, like, an American rifleman or something, like, and they turn the corner.
You give that perception, but then I've seen people with, like, flamethrower groupings with these guys just burning down everyone.
True, and this is on my own personal. Whenever I face them, I feel like there's nothing to fear. Now, if we can go to Sturms, whenever I see them...
Real quick.
Okay.
We should, before we jump to Sturms, and which, by the way, I think before even mention, I think they're A tier.
Oh, I think they're S tier.
The reason I see you think S tier.
Yes, but continue on the Pioneer. Sorry.
Okay, the reason I would at least give these guys B tiers, yes, they are a little bit more squishy.
Yes.
So in a direct firefight versus a lot of infantry, they will not win. Yeah. Unless, even with the flamethrower upgrade, they can be outranged, and they are close range specials. So that means even with the flamethrower, long range infantry such as British infantry section, riflemen can tear them apart long range.
Yes.
But the nice thing about them is they're an early unit you can use to clear buildings.
Yep.
So an MG or something, you can help clear it. It's 60 munitions for a flamethrower, but you add it in with the German half-track and you can just run it around and do flame tactics. Sure, again, that's doctrine specific for getting a half-track, but still, it's possible.
They also have a lot of nice varieties. They have the,
Minesweeper, which is something you need.
Barbed wire cutter, flamethrower. They can build bunkers, and they can also, if you get certain commanders, can build like artillery pieces, and such. So they're good. I'm not saying and they have some cool things they can build. I'm just saying in regards to for going on a pure unit basis.
Yes, and compared to
there
every
is something
other,
I would prefer if I was on the Axis side.
Yes, and also there is better allied engineer squads that I would rather get above the Pioneer squads. So I think Pioneers are better than some other ones.
Yeah, like the Soviet engineers.
But specifically, we'll put them right there.
Okay.
So S tier Sturm Pioneers.
Yes.
Why are Sturm Pioneers so good?
Because they make you run. Like, no joke. You get these things, like, if you are walking and suddenly they appear in the building next to you, you're dead. If they turn the corner and you're right there, you're gone.
They're not shock troops, but they're close. They're a good second.
They catch you off guard and you're dead. Like, they are no joke on the early game. Yes, later in the game, they balance themselves out a little bit, but they are terrifying. Absolutely terrifying in the early game. And for that in itself, they deserve S tier. Because there's no other unit in Company of Heroes 2 that maybe shock troops, but there's no other unit I can think of that when they turn the corner, you immediately are like, do I have 2 or 3 units? If I do not, if the answer is not yes, then I should run.
They also, some of them can have flamethrowers. They get a special upgrade with a commander, which is fine. That makes them even more powerful than the Pioneer squad. But the base, they just have Minesweeper. And of course, the Panzergrenadier, which is a good early AT if you need it.
Yep.
They also can drop medic squad. So again, if you need to heal, you drop some heal points and they can heal. And
they can also have some specials like the
shock grenade.
Stun grenade. Yeah, it's so nice.
Which again, it's just like, oh, it's higher veterancy. this may take a while to get this, but when you eventually get it, it's a nice bonus.
Yeah.
They can lay down tank traps, the special barbed wire, which is unique to this German faction, which can prevent light vehicles. And I love in the beginning how it used to be unable to cut, and you would just have people laying it across the whole goddamn map and be like, well, good luck, allies. Yeah, that's also one reason why the British infantry Royal Engineers has the destructible cover ability. It's just to remove this from play.
Yeah.
Even after they patched it a whole bunch.
They get, again, like the flamethrower, they have some cool abilities, and their upgrade is also, their upgrade rank wise are also pretty nice. They're handy. And
cheap mines. They get the same thing. The nice thing about them is you get the nice cheap 30 mines. Sure, the Pioneer squad, we forgot to mention, put the Teller mine and the S minefield.
Yep.
So they're both good in their own right and both great mines, but preferably, I like the cheap 30 mine because
it does everything. Hits infantry, hits tanks, hits whatever.
Yeah, the S minefield is good. Let's say it gets ice and it gets infantry. The other Teller mine's great for killing light vehicles and crippling mediums. But preferably, I would just rather have the 30.
Yeah, you can put a lot of cheap mines down considering one expensive one that you scream at the top of your lungs because the Stuart just grazes it. You're just like, why didn't it explode?
But again, that's just our listing.
Yeah.
That's for the engineers. Now let's get to the base frontline infantry. Okay. First off, we accidentally put 2 Ostrupen squads, in case you're wondering. First off, let's move the Ostrupen. Where would you put these guys?
Ostrupen squad, I would say...
I'm putting C tier. Yes, here's why.
I'd go in B, but okay.
Okay, here's why.
Explain.
So they're 200 manpower. So you're like, okay. And here's the specific reason why I brought them lower than a B.
Okay.
They're great defensive infantry. They can fill up gaps and spots very quickly. The problem is, on the offensive, they're not great. Now you could say, wait a second, they have an MG42, and they still have the Panzerfaust. So you could do mass Panzerfaust with them.
You can also blob.
Yes, you can. But, like I said, even though they are slightly less expensive, and it's only by 40 manpower, they still get one or two mans more than the Grenadier, depending on what Grenadier bonus you give them. And they can still, hold their own defensively. But that attack is something that, once again, you bring up. You have the MG42, which, again, needs to be you need to stop them in place for them to do that, which, again, cover bonus. But the big thing is they don't have a rifle.
Yeah.
They do not have a rifle grenade, do they get?
Yeah.
And the MG42 cannot be unlocked until the last building. So...
saying is you're a bit of a long...
So while people think, oh, I just spam Ostrupen and then just give them a bunch of MG42s to just counteract the enemy, it doesn't work like that. So while they can be effective late game and slightly effective early game, I don't think I ever see them as a great push unit, because at late game you're versing high-ranking British infantry, which are still going to mow these guys down even with MG42. They're best at filling up spots or filling up gaps.
Yeah, it's very much a unit these suckers are great in blobs, but I mean, Grenadiers are great in blobs. There's many units that would be good in a blob format. It's just, these are cheap enough you can do that. Yeah. And it's not even that cheap. It's not even that cheap. It's only 200. It's 40 manpower, which you could say, oh, that's a lot, but not necessarily. It on the resupply. Yeah, I mean, they're great for picking up MGs and stuff. Also, they have the anti-tank Panzerfaust. Yeah, they got the Panzerfaust, but so do the Grenadiers and such. Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, I thought about Ostrupen being like, oh, they're amazing, and I'm probably gonna be yelled at for not putting them higher, but honestly, they're gap units. They're not offensive units. They're just meant to hold an area and get your supply and get whatever support thing that died back and going. If they are offensive units, they're primarily just in mass, and you probably could have broken that front line with any other. They're not conscripts. You can't be like, oh, that squad's down a few members. Let's fill them in. It's not going to work like that. I cannot wait for the allies. The conscripts are just so malleable. Oh, yeah. We'll talk about conscripts later. Those, oh boy. But let us move on to the other basic troop, probably the Grenadiers. Okay, so where did you put the right-hand side? Okay, so the Grenadiers, I would give them. I would probably say an A. Okay. And here's my reasoning. Yes. The upgrade for the MG42? Yes. Is fantastic. The G43s are also great. Yeah, there's plenty of good upgrades you can have for these guys. The 5-man squads. They have they have immediately the snare ability. Yep. Which is great if you're facing let's say they go Soviet, the sniper clown car penal, that building. You can immediately shut down a car. It's so great in that regard. You have they generally upgrade, and once you get to the Vet 3 with their MG42s, they just shred infantry. Like, no joke. Like, even riflemen just get obliterated by these guys.
Yeah, they can hold their own, especially Vet 3.
In cover.
Yeah.
I should stress, when these guys are defending in cover, they can shred incoming enemies.
No,
like,
upgraded British or a super American infantry can probably push these guys back, but overall, they're a very good offensive unit.
they can also build bunkers and such. So
Yeah,
nice
and
little...
rifle grenades, of course, are always great for getting squad wipes.
Oh my god, rifle grenades, I think, are like the best grenade because you don't think, oh, this is not going to do anything.
They have good range. The
They've
problem is sometimes you can't get them closer. They can't chuck a grenade and kill something right next to it like shock troops can. But the positive thing is they can hit infantry from around. Like, you could be behind a bush and there's something firing, and then fire over, get a good distance, and kill something on the distance.
Yeah.
It's great in that regard.
Yeah, it's good at flanking. The rifle grenade is punishing to MGs. Like, I've probably lost hundreds of MGs to that stupid rifle grenade ability. It's pretty good. And then the amount of upgrades you can get with different commanders, whether it's ranking it up or just like getting different attachments, are all great. So this is a very good, malleable German unit.
All right. So where do we, let's take a little detour. Where do we put the German sniper at? And this would be more likely compared to other snipers. I would
say D.
You would put it at a D.
Yes.
Remember, for those who don't know, there's a Soviet sniper and there's a British sniper.
Yes.
The British sniper is more armor-piercing, specializing versus artillery, counter fortifications, counter blobs, and also vehicles. The Soviet one has a recon ability. This one has an anti...
the fire. It's the fire.
Yeah, it's the fire that can pretty much pin blobs and keep them pinned. So you would put this at D.
Can I tell you why?
Why?
Very rarely do I see this ever get used, but without the Soviet getting a sniper. If your first inclination of a unit is to never get it unless the enemy unit gets their own version, and even then you have to then wait until there's an opening for the sniper of the Soviet to actually be used.
Okay.
That's and in regards to specials, the fire grenade is great. I've seen it punish my
round. Yeah,
it's punished me plenty of times. I'm not saying that it hasn't had its uses, especially when you blob them, like 3 or 4 of these suckers, and when you're good at micro and you can like flame and do such things. I'm not saying it can't be used for, and I'm not saying it can't be good, but what I'm saying is I would rather get like a Grenadier squad, or like there are plenty of other things I'd rather get if the enemy doesn't have a sniper. That's the one caveat.
I will disagree with you on this, but I get where you're coming from. For those who don't know, the German units typically are between 4 and 5 man squads.
Yeah.
The Allies are typically can range from anywhere from 4 men with the early British up to most of them are 5
men.
and
7 men now with the
and
conscripts.
6 men with the Soviets up to possibly 7 men. Which, if you put it in a scale, you can kill 25% of the unit at the best case scenario, or more worst case scenario, you're killing what?
You're
getting 14%.
You're getting a greater reward on the Soviet end, or even the British end, than you would with this.
Yeah.
Therefore, it is in that respect alone, you need more than one sniper,
but
and then the risk is so high.
I will say the sniper is good for counteracting like blobs and stuff like that. I do agree with your sentiment that against the Allies, the sniper has more work to cut out to do damage and to wear them down. But I don't think it's a D unit. I still think the German sniper is good enough, especially controlling enemy blobs.
Yes.
So I would at least put it. Okay. But here's
the F tier. I just saw your cursor.
But it's hard because I'm still comparing it to the Soviet and the British one and where I would place those. I think we can say would you say the British sniper's better? I would, because of its abilities.
Armor piercing is good, and it has those abilities. Also, in regards to special, like the Soviet sniper, I would argue is the best sniper.
Yeah.
Period. This is
really the Soviet, even though they minus the man.
Yeah, because you still get the flare that reveals everything else in the area, which means, oh, what do you know? The German sniper's right there.
In my opinion, I would give it a B tier, but we're gonna
We'll combo a C.
Yeah, combo C.
We'll draw the
because I see more the perks a sniper can do and the damage like it can harass enemies and just slowly wear them down.
And I see the fact that it's on a man basis, like per man basis.
Manpower basis, yeah.
Yeah, you're getting less reward when you're versing the Allies, and the special is not as good as the other two. So that's just me in regards to snipers.
Yeah, I will say its ability is unique, like the British one. The Soviet one's a flare, which the mortar or something else can use. So I will point that out for those who might criticize that. Next up, we have...
Let's go with the Volk for the OKW, because we're going with like the basic infantry units.
Okay, where would you put Volk squads?
Probably between an A or a B, leaning toward A. Okay.
So A, they do have a SCG-44, so that's their upgrade, and that's very good close range.
They can be upgraded with like a closer round, like with the what's it called? Was it Firestorm? They get the upgrade with the close range.
Oh, MP40s and smoke grenade.
Yeah, MP40s,
incendiary grenades pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
Yes.
The big thing about the Volk squad is the fact that they don't immediately get a Panzerfaust.
You need to unlock it.
You need to get the building up where the Grenadiers are more based.
They can get to Vet 5, which means they can heal themselves.
That's the counterpoint. They have higher veterancy. So that's where maybe their deficiency down is more long-term better.
It's very much like and we'll get into like the Panzer Fusiliers later,
yeah.
But early game, they're good, but as you keep them over the course of the game, they get better and better and better. And
there any?
You just have to keep them alive.
Is there any negatives you would give to a Volk squad? They cost $250, if I recall correctly. So they're a little bit more expensive.
Anti-tank snare is important.
It
is very important.
And you don't get immediately, but I think these guys are meant for longer term.
Otherwise, they can build cover. They can
they're 5-man squads as well.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can build cover. They can do a few things like on the side. So it's not that they're lacking. Like, it's just they're unlike the Grenadiers, which have a lower min to max, like their maximum proficiency.
This one's lower min but higher max.
Yes, yeah, very much agree.
Okay.
It is slow in the start, but it just keeps growing and growing and growing. Yeah,
and the bonuses like healing themselves out of cover, out of combat and stuff like that are also really good. So I think A tier is a good spot for them.
Yes.
Yeah, because there isn't a major deficiency other than their lower start, but they can get a higher up.
Yep.
Next up, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Panzer Fusilier. S tier. They're S tier now. Like again, of all the units, they'd be like to pop up and be like they're now some of the favorite in the entirety of Company of Heroes 2's community.
Yep.
Panzer Fusiliers have jumped up because now they have an AT rifle grenade they can deploy from the very beginning. So you deploy them, they automatically have it. They have Panzerschrecks, which are really cheap. Yeah, pretty cheap. They don't get the AT grenade if you use that. You still keep an AT grenade if you go with the G43 upgrade, which again make them just great against other infantry.
Great range. Like they will shred infantry at range when they're coming at you. And not to mention the fact, again, you can get these suckers now at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And they're not great at the beginning. Like they will lose to I think they will lose to conscripts. Like in a fight on mano a mano, they will lose.
So
they are weaker than Volk, but
they get
that
grenade.
Long-term upgrade is just
Vet 5,
Yeah, they get to you compare a Vet 5 Panzer Fusilier against a Vet 5 Volk, and you have them fight each other like at range. Mine is close range because obviously the SGG, but you have them like one charge, like if the Volk charges at the Panzer Fusilier, it's dead.
Yeah.
Like you'll just get shredded at range.
Once upgraded, yes. Yeah. I also say veterancy, they get a flare.
Yep.
Again, we also have the ability, like, again, multiple different trees they can go down. They're so dynamic in how you can use them. I cannot see why you would give it. The only thing I'll say is grenades not as good.
Their upgrade
but they're still fine.
Their upgrade is also a little expensive at 90 munitions, but compared to the Volk at 60. But I mean, like,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's
legit worth it.
Let's talk about something else that's worth it. Panzergrenadiers. I would give them an S tier. But what would you give them?
In regards to the units,
they're very good against armor with 100 munition Panzerschreck. They also now deployable from the initial building, which I was like, it took me a second to be like, oh yeah, they're deployed here instead. Yeah. That's really nice.
The major thing I would have with this unit is it is the best German anti-tank like infantry in the game.
Yes,
no joke. It will if you get like 3 of these, they will shred it armor.
Yep.
You get 5. I recently played a game on the End Forest where a gentleman got the STG upgrade. Like there was they're
very good close range as well.
They got a certain rifle. I'm blanking on the exact name of it, but they essentially got those rifle upgrades and they shredded at distance.
Panzerschreck.
No. They like an actual rifle.
DPs.
Maybe I would need to look it up, but I don't play too much. But it's been rare since I've seen them used. But there was there was some with panzers, some with the rifles, and they shredded my like anything not blahs, but they shredded my infantry.
Okay.
I had to use Katyushas. I had to use B4s just to stop this thing because it was so bad. But it was very
Panzergrenadier
potent.
blobbing is a concern in the COH2 community.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah.
But
if you do it, you'll shred armor left and right.
You also, they're not, okay, I would still make note. They're like the mid-tier between Pioneers and Sturms, where if they turn the corner, you think you might have a chance if like you have good infantry. You think you might have a chance.
They're very good anti-armor, and before you do the upgrade, they're very good
close infantry.
And the bundle grenade's great.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. That sucker will shred machine guns, infantry. Yeah.
I think the detriment is if they don't really have much else.
Yeah.
They do get a boost when around armor now. They will like fucking run. They will blitz with armor, which is more terrifying.
Yeah.
But I mean, out of everything, they're more powerful with Panzerschrecks and Sturms. They're on par with Panzerfusiliers with their Panzerschrecks.
No, yeah, and they are definitive.
Would you move them up to S tier? Because again, you can use them with a blob.
You can use them in so many different situations. Then I would say yes.
Okay.
They're good at close range. They're a little bit expensive, but you can use them against armor. And when you want to sneak up and murder like a Katyusha, like sneak it around the map and just murder, it's great. So
all right,
there.
let's speed this up a little bit.
Yes.
So let's go with the Stormtrooper. I think they're B. The reason they're B is because you can deploy behind enemy lines, and while they do have a bunch of abilities like Panzerschreck or they do stuff, they're not as good as you want them to be. There are other deployable units that I see here you can deploy from behind that I think are a little better.
Yeah.
And as well, while the Panzerschreck is 1, you can get SCG. I'm sorry, you can get. It used to be able to get SCG 44s with them. No longer. You now can only get G43s.
Yep.
Which. Fine,
they're good.
Yeah, or close range P40.
I would say that here's the test of the unit.
Yeah.
Are you mad if it comes back? If it's a success story and this, let's say, kills a Katyusha for whatever, or kills your target and it dies, do you feel bad? I would say.
Should I move this from that statement? Should I move them down more? Because they're disposable. You're right.
Yeah, they're kind of disposable. You don't want these suckers to live. In all honesty, I guess you're like, yeah, okay, I got them back. They're alive. I guess they can be cannon fodder now. But compared to let's go to Fallschirmjägers. Fallschirmjägers, you deploy them, and you are happy.
You want to make sure they get back.
You want them to come back. Yeah.
So A, B, C. Where do you want
them? They're good at long range. They
get the Panzerfaust. They have a smoke grenade, which is fight phosphorus equivalent.
Get a good grenade
5.
as well.
They're now not as expensive, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think they're 400.
Yeah, they're not as expensive now. They've been reduced. I know Soldaten were 400, now they're 340. They still cost a lot to get their upgrades, but they're still pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, they're very good deployables and very good against all circumstance.
Yeah,
especially
just all-around great units. Soldaten, I would argue, maybe not as so much.
Yeah, I would say Soldaten is B.
I think they're overhyped. I think the SDG.
They're very expensive still.
Yeah, the light machine gun is good, not great, but the SDGs are better. But you need to go down a specific doctrine to get them. They're very expensive, so if you lose one of these, it's 400 manpower just gone.
Well, it's 340 now.
Oh, right.
They decreased it.
Right.
But like I said, they're still rather expensive, and even though they've decreased
they're expensive to refill back up. Yeah.
You need the upgrade for them to be potent, and you need a specific doctrine to have them very potent.
Yeah, they're very doctrine focused, doctrine heavy, and even if you
if you can with us G44s, I can see them eclipsing 8s here, but without them, Fallschirmjägers are already. You don't need an upgrade for them. No. You just deploy them, use them well, and they'll shred it.
Yeah. Unless you pick up an enemy I don't know, LMG or Bren gun, you don't feel this is not going to get any better. But no, for the Soldaten, it's a unit that is very good, but it's more situational on the commander, and I would recommend other units.
Both of them have bundle grenades as well.
Yeah.
This has a Panzerfaust ability.
Yep.
You don't need to upgrade them. That's why I say Fallschirmjägers are a bit better.
The Soldaten do have the trip wire on the point, or they also have the acid smoke, or the white phosphorus grenade. But overall, I'd go with Fallschirmjägers over Soldaten. Let's go with the
Assault Grenadiers.
Yeah.
Okay. They have been boosted, and they now you can get a 6-man squad with them.
Yeah, I'd still C tier or D tier. I'd put C.
Really? You'd put them as D tier? Oh boy, this is gonna be the ice too.
Because they're not good. I have fought these suckers, especially on the day 1 of the patch. Maybe it's just people didn't know them or didn't know how to use them. But I was using normal conscripts or penals, and I was shredding these things. I was like, wait, these were buffed? I was kind of shocked.
They were. So you would put them D tier.
Because they're not, comparatively, I would get, in regards to opening, let's say opening
Okay.
Like, I would rather have a Grenadier. Again, this is coming from a guy that doesn't play too much Wehrmacht. If any Wehrmacht.
Okay.
But for me,
I think their upgrades are enough to get them to C tier.
Okay.
Which I'll leave them there. I don't think they're that bad as you're claiming, but that being said, I could see their long-term viability with no anti-armor. There are better units that the Germans can deploy. They're better against infantry. They're really good close range, but overall, I think I'd rather have Sturm Pioneers close range.
Yeah.
I think I would rather have Fallschirmjägers or Obersoldaten close range.
Yeah.
Panzergrenadiers. Like, there's all sorts of different options I would rather have.
Yeah, they're just comparatively to other units, there are other things I'd want to have, and they don't do the thing that they're supposed to do well enough compared to, like, the Sturm or, like, Panzergrenadiers.
Okay, if you know what, I'll put it down D tier, because we need something to kind of fill out the gap. And
yeah, leave your comments below. Panzergrenadiers.
Assault Grenadiers
change our minds.
Oh, boy. Oh, Assault Grenadiers, not Panzergrenadiers.
Yeah,
Panzergrenadiers pulling them up. All right, Artillery Field Officer, where do we put these suckers? That would be the officer.
This is your choice, because
I've used them. I think they're C. They have a nice combined mortar ability. They have a really nice smoke ability. They're better.
It's a good.
But I don't think
unit.
I don't think they're like necessary to win games. I don't think I've seen them that much or used that much. They're good, but I don't think they're great. I think they're okay.
Okay. Next up,
Sturm Officer, I think, is a better variant because it can retreat, it can mark target, it also can help boost.
Downside, though, is if it dies, your whole army retreats with it.
I think a B tier was
I cannot tell you.
It's a nice bonus.
How many times, like, I fired a Katyusha and, like, it misses all but the Sturm Officer.
And they all retreat!
It's so good. So yeah, it's the one flaw, and it's a pretty crippling flaw.
Okay.
But no, the buffs are good, and it doesn't vent. So that is the downside, is you get this, and it's the best it's ever going to get.
Yeah. Now we have the Geiger Light-Infantry, where they were previously boosted and made the most popular unit in the game, and then nerfed, and now I rarely see them.
Yeah, I mean, what are they attached to? What,
Scavenge and a couple other doctrines.
Again, we're going on 3v3, 4v4 mindset for all these things, so just as a note, but I don't know. F? We need an F token.
No, I wouldn't call them F. They're not F.
Just toss them in the trash.
Even with themselves, they're still pretty good long range. I think they're very good long range, but I think Panzerfusiliers for the Wehrmacht, you could better. Honestly, if you wanted to get something better, Grenadiers with G43s would be better.
Like, we're trying to defend this unit.
God damn it.
Panzerfusiliers.
I love it. No one used it. It gets shot up to the most popular next to Pathfinders, and now it's just back down to square.
Do I just throw it in D? Because, it's honestly a unit
I think I'll leave them at C. They're not that bad. I play a ton of OKW. I can see where they're good.
I can play a ton of OKW.
I see where they're very bad.
I never see these units. They're not even a question of because maybe it's just because the commanders they're attached to are so terrible.
Scavenge is bad unless you're in 1v1s.
Yeah, Scavenge is bad on 4v4, and it's just why would you ever want this? Get a Panzerfusilier for God's sake. At least right now, while it's good. If it gets nerfed again, then don't. But at the moment, Panzerfusiliers seem like the
I can't wait for the comments. You put Assault Grenadiers too low. He did it. I want him higher.
Yeah. Change my mind. Just hold on, let me get the mug. Change my mind.
Oh boy. But the other Austrian we already did. You put it twice. So I think we're good here. So I don't think there's a terrible infantry unit the Germans have, like a horrible.
No.
Assault Grenadiers, you can make the argument they're better. Yeah. And yes, with the upgrades and stuff like that, they can be. I just think that if you're going to be forcing the Allies...
Kind of makes sense, though, for the Germans, because they don't have as many... there are not as many infantry units compared to the Allies, of course, because there's 3 factions and not 2. So, when you have this variety, they have to be... I would argue that the Germans have to be better.
Yeah.
Because it's not the fact that they... It's the fact that they have less, therefore their infantry has to do more for what they have to make up for. Yeah. Whereas the Allies can make it up for by having certain units specialize very heavily in doing things that the Germans cannot compare to. In regards to range, in regards to close quarters, in regards to a variety of options. It's not to say the Germans are bad, it's just they're more like the King Tiger or the Panzer IV. More all-purpose, but they can still be very good, especially Fallschirmjägers or Panzerfusiliers or Sturm Tigers in some specialized forms.
Yeah. But any case, guys, that's going to be it. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed.
If not, leave your comments below of why I'm wrong.
Tell us why this is the biggest travesty since the IS-2 debacle. I keep bringing that up because I love it. It's like the IS-2 is good, and I did a game today, and the IS-2 was actually pretty. It actually hit every shot. I was shocked.
Not only did it hit every shot, it penned. I cannot tell you how often I've gotten the IS-2. I'm like, yep, and bounce,
and a miss,
and a miss, and a bounce. Okay, it's just like, okay. Of course, it happens the one time.
One time we show it. You know what? Maybe they secretly like buffed it, and we had no idea. But whatever. Hey, if that's the one thing we fucked up in like 4 of these, I'm fine with it.
Yep.
In any case, guys, make sure, of course, you want to check out us showing these commanders. We live stream on Twitch. We have more content elsewhere, so you can check us out there. But otherwise, it's been Greyshot17
and Greyshot151,
and we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Hello everyone, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Milam, Ace, Chris Bailey, Javi, Jfoe, Joey240, Josh, JP Vaal, jrchicklis, Little Koosh, Moustache, Onlyplayapples, PyroShark, Rifle, Sebastian Marszalek, Sergeant McPain, Streakingwookie, WhiteHodD, GTA, Jakub Ocwieja, Nathan Angus, and of course Tim. Thank you guys so much for your amazing support. This has been Greyshot17 and my amazing patrons, and I'll see you guys next time.